Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the Legend of Zelda series and where it's going in the words by Aonuma, the Legend of Zelda director, who usually takes a huge part in the Legend of Zelda series, on where exactly the next Zelda game could be possibly going, in words that almost confirm what the next Zelda game is going to be, or at least what we can expect when it comes to the Legend of Zelda series and what games are coming. They also give some behind the scenes details on the development of the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom as well, which we'll be going over too. If you guys end up enjoying this video, make sure you leave a like and also of course subscribe for more Nintendo content. So the Legend of Zelda series is in a pretty interesting spot. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom as Zelda as the main character just came out, something that's pretty different from your usual Legend of Zelda game. There was also the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was the exact opposite of the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and of course there's the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a game that completely transformed the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild into something completely unique and different, and something we really don't see in games nowadays. The amount of creativity that the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was able to bring out in creators and players and overall just the Zelda fanbase was pretty amazing. Like, did you guys see the Godzilla fan animation? And I don't even know what you would call that. Whatever you would call that. It was basically Godzilla within Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, if you can make that, that's just insane and really cool, and it's just a really fantastic game. And it's interesting to see that the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom also features something similar. But I think overall when it comes to this series, people really do want to see what's next. What's next for the series when it comes to the Legend of Zelda when you're playing as Link. There are a couple things that people usually say. They usually say, oh, I would like a remaster of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess maybe, or The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which those people are me. Specifically Wind Waker. Some people also do want the Oracle of Seasons games as well on the Nintendo Switch, a remake or remaster or something along those lines. Some people want an entirely new game, and the information that we get from Aonuma in this interview is pretty interesting, and I think it does give us a hint on exactly where they're going, at least for the next game. Until now, the 2D top-down Legend of Zelda games haven't seen that many major transformations. When we were developing the remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, I was thinking about what I'd like to do with the next one, or in the next one I should say. I was thinking about what I'd like to do for the next one, but I was wondering how far Grezzo would be able to go with that. But with Terada-san taking the lead for this title, the staff at Grezzo approached it with a fresh perspective and free thinking. They really pulled it all together. And additionally, Sano-san, who has worked with Grezzo for many years on the Legend of Zelda series, led the project, bringing that authentic Legend of Zelda-like feeling as a producer. It felt like watching your child grow up. I'm really grateful for all the hard work. I hope lots of people will enjoy the new top-down Legend of Zelda and will be excited for future top-down Legend of Zelda games too. So that quote right there, keep that in mind as well. I'm looking forward myself to be playing the Legend of Zelda game where for the first time Princess Zelda is the playable main character, and to be making new discoveries every time I play, and I'm also excited to see what the future holds for top-down Legend of Zelda games. Thank you very much. So there is a couple of things to take out of this specific part of the quote from Aonuma. The first part that I want to talk about is where they say, when we were developing the remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, I was thinking about what I'd like to do in the next one. Now, as far as I can tell, those specific words, I was thinking about what I'd like to do in the next one, makes it sound like they were thinking of the Echoes of Wisdom during the development of Link's Awakening. So who's to say that they're not thinking of the next game, especially with the ending quote of them talking about the next top-down Zelda game when they're developing the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is these games. These games have been rumored for quite some time, and a lot of times when we talk about what games Nintendo should be doing for the remake or remaster, or just putting an HD version of those out on the Nintendo Switch, whether that be, again, in the remaster or remake form. While some people talk about Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, other people do talk about Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. And if they are currently developing the next top-down Zelda game, it's going to be very interesting to see if they end up going with the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Ages, because remember that last closing quote, other than the one before it, I'm looking forward to myself playing the Legend of Zelda game where for the first time Princess Zelda is the playable main character, and to be making new discoveries every time I play. And I'm also excited to see what the future holds for the top-down Legend of Zelda game. I wonder if they're going to end up bringing any other characters that can get their own game, similar to the way Nintendo used the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom as a Zelda game. I mean, I don't know what character they would choose to have their own game or how they would even make that work, but it would be pretty interesting to see them take a stab at that. Now, the fact that they are going to be making new top-down Zelda games, I think is really great for the series. I feel like there's going to be a mix of different Zelda games, especially when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out for the Legend of Zelda series. I would love for them to do a mix of the both. I think both can live within the same space. Because you have to wonder, the Nintendo Switch 2 is obviously going to be around for a while. They're not going to release it and then go on to the next system within like 1 or 2 years. This is supposed to keep the Switch brand around for at least a little bit longer, right? So if the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be around for a little bit longer, I'm assuming that they're going to be making multiple Zelda games. Like the next mainline Zelda game is probably going to be a bigger game. It's not going to be a small top-down game, but the smaller games for the Legend of Zelda series can still happen. Remakes, remasters, ports of the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, hopefully, and Twilight Princess. So while they do say, I hope lots of people will enjoy the top-down Legend of Zelda series, and I will be excited for future top-down Legend of Zelda games too, I don't think that means that this is 100% where they're going, at least in the Nintendo Switch's 2 lifetime. I think there's going to be a mix of both, which would be nice, right? Honestly, a mix of all three. New Legend of Zelda games starring Link, maybe some side games, top-down games, and also remasters and remakes. I think that all depends on how long the Nintendo Switch's lifetime is going to be. That's one thing that I've been wondering when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 is just how long is it going to be? Is it going to be like 3 or 4 years? How fast is the technology going to age? Are games going to still run really great on the Switch 2 in like say 4 years? And will that make the Nintendo Switch 2 end up going on to the next system in like 4 or 5 years? So within that time span of whatever year span it's gonna be, how much Zelda games are we gonna get? Obviously, the top-down games is what we're gonna get, but as far as the bigger Zelda games, I guess we'll see. Now, as far as some of the little details that I actually found pretty interesting in this interview about the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, like this one right here, finding out that the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was 8 times as large as the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This is what Aonuma said. At first, it was 4 times the size, but then before we knew it, laughs. However, although the map has become much larger, the feeling of the top-down Legend of Zelda game where you can easily enjoy game in a compact world is still there, so it isn't as intimidating to explore. And in the previous quote, he says, the map ended up being 8 times the size of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and he laughs again. One thing that I think would be pretty interesting is a Toon Link top-down game. A new one, anyways, if you guys know what I mean. We still had other games that had Toon Link that were top-down on the DS, obviously. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass specifically is what I'm thinking of, but I feel like that would be pretty cool. The fact that they're able to make such a large map with The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, why not make a Wind Waker game? Man, that would be really cool now that I think about it. Another cool tidbit about the development of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is that apparently they didn't use sound effects when developing the game in early development. This is what Aonuma said. Speaking of the Legend of Zelda-like feeling, creation of the sound starts later in development, and for this game, it really helped increase the feeling at the end of development. Early in development, we spent a long time making the game without any sound implemented. But then towards the end, as we started mass production of data and shifted to the work to move towards the final product, the sound team came to us saying, here's what the main theme sounds like, and had us listen. Honestly, that's kind of interesting. I always thought that once you make something in a game, you would be like, okay, what is the sound effect of such and such, right? I mean, how I make my, well, I guess, you know what? Actually, sometimes when I make my videos and I have all of the cool animation stuff, I actually put the animations and stuff on the timeline, and then I think about, okay, what sound effect works with this. I don't do the sound effect and then make the animation. So I guess that does make sense. But yeah, this was a very interesting read. There were just these little tidbits and different parts of this article that were really interesting. Like another one is this one. The sound team takes a near finished game, and while imagining how the players would feel in each scene, they compose music to fit the scenes and have it play each part at exactly the right moment. I feel like sound and music is very important, not just to the Legend of Zelda series, but just content in general, not just gaming, but like videos and movies and TV shows and all that great stuff. I mean, heck, even music itself, even right down to like just YouTube videos like this. Depending on what music is on screen, it goes differently with different type of edits or whatever the video is playing, and it does make the video feel a lot different. Like if you randomly put music that just doesn't fit with any of the edits or anything, it's gonna be weird. I mean, the power of music in games is pretty strong. But yeah, there are other things if you guys want to look through it. I'll leave a link to that in the comment section below. But overall, interesting stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the next top-down Zelda game, because it sounds like they're already making one. Or at the very least, they know that they are going to make one, because they say future top-down Zelda game. So it's going to be interesting to see what they go with. Will it be an Oracle of Seasons and Ages remake? Will it be a remaster? Will it be maybe another Toon Link Wind Waker game type style? Obviously not the view of Wind Waker, but like more close to what we had going on the DS. It's gonna be interesting. What Legend of Zelda game do you want next on the Nintendo Switch? Whether that be just a remaster, a remake, a top-down game. Let me know what you guys want in the Legend of Zelda series going forward, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.